audio-only version on our Telegram channel. I ended my friendship with a toxic friend, then he leaked my intimate video. Hey everyone, I need to vent because this situation has been eating me alive for weeks. I'm 28, a guy, living in New York, and this is about my former best friend, who I'll call Alex, not his real name of course. We were friends since college, met during our freshman year at NYU, bonded over late-night study sessions, video games, and the broke student life in the big city. He was like a brother to me, or so I thought. We shared everything: apartments, trips, wild parties. But over the last 2 years, things started to fall apart. At first, the changes were subtle. Alex always had a sharp tongue, loved to roast people, but it turned into toxic behavior. He started making snarky comments about my job. I'm a graphic designer, nothing fancy, but it pays the bills, belittled my relationships, and constantly tried to one-up me in conversations. If I shared good news, he'd find a way to make it about how his life was harder or better. He began borrowing money and not paying it back, showing up uninvited to my apartment, staying for days without contributing. The breaking point came 6 months ago at a mutual friend's birthday party in Brooklyn. I had just started dating a girl named Sarah, and Alex, after getting drunk, started flirting with her right in front of me. When I called him out, he brushed it off as a joke, but later whispered something to her that made her leave earlier than planned. The next day, he texted me that I was overreacting and becoming too sensitive. I tried talking to him a few times, but he always turned it back on me, making me feel like I was the problem. Finally, 2 months ago, I decided I'd had enough. I sent him a long message explaining why I needed space, his constant negativity, disrespect, and how he drained my energy. I said I valued our past friendship but couldn't continue like this. He responded with a barrage of angry texts, calling me a traitor, saying I'd regret it, and accusing me of throwing away years of loyalty. I blocked him everywhere and tried to move on. That's when the real nightmare began. A week later, our mutual friend Mike called me, asking if I was okay, then dropped a bombshell. Alex had sent a video to our old college group chat, an intimate video of me from the past. It was from our sophomore year, during a dumb, drunken night at a friend's party. I was young and carefree, and in the video I was in a compromising situation, not illegal, but very private and embarrassing. It involved me and a girl I was dating at the time, fooling around in a bedroom. We thought it was funny back then, and Alex recorded it on his phone as a joke. I trusted him to delete it, and he assured me he did, but as it turns out, he lied. Mike said the video was circulating among our mutual friends, at least 10-15 people, including a few colleagues from a freelance project we worked on together. People started sending me awkward messages. Some tried to joke about it, others expressed concern. One girl from our circle texted me that she was sorry and that Alex had crossed every line. I felt violated, humiliated, and furious. This wasn't just revenge, it was outright betrayal. I couldn't sleep, couldn't focus at work. I started questioning every moment of our friendship. Was he always this manipulative? Did he keep that video as leverage? I haven't confronted Alex yet because I'm scared he might do something worse. Part of me wants to go to the police. I learned through a quick Google search that revenge porn is illegal in New York, but I'm worried about the fallout, having to relive this in court, more people potentially seeing the video, and further damage to my reputation. Has anyone dealt with something like this? How do you start healing from this? My trust in people is completely shattered. Any advice is appreciated. Update 1, 2 weeks after the original post. Thank you all for the support. I didn't expect such a wave of responses. Your stories and advice gave me the courage to take action. Many of you suggested going to the authorities, and I did. First, I gathered evidence. I took screenshots of the group chat messages where the video was shared. Mike and a few other friends forwarded them to me, collected texts from friends confirming they received the video, and even asked a few to write formal statements. Those statements noted that Alex sent the video with a comment like, "Here's what our loyal friend was up to. Thought you'd enjoy this memory." It was clear his intent was to humiliate me. I went to an NYPD precinct in Manhattan and filed a report. The officer was empathetic, but explained that revenge porn cases can be tricky since the video was old and not explicitly sexual, more partial nudity and fooling around. Still, New York's intimate image protection law covers non-consensual sharing of such material, so they took it seriously. They advised me to contact a lawyer specializing in cybercrimes or digital privacy. I also reached out to the Cyber Civil Rights Initiative, recommended by a user here. They connected me with a pro bono lawyer who handles these cases. We discussed filing a civil lawsuit for invasion of privacy and intentional infliction of emotional distress. The lawyer thinks we have a strong case since Alex deliberately shared the video to harm my reputation after our falling out. On a personal level, most of our mutual friends have sided with me. After the video was shared in the group chat, a heated discussion broke out. people condemned Alex and he was kicked out of several of our social circles. Some even blocked him. But one guy, Tom, still defends Alex, calling it just a prank and saying I'm overreacting. I've had to distance myself from Tom too. Sarah, my ex-girlfriend, we parted amicably, heard about the situation and reached out to support me. She's been a rock, reminding me that this says more about Alex than it does about me. Emotionally, it's still rough. I started therapy through my workplace's employee assistance program. We've talked about how this betrayal triggered old insecurities from my college days. I changed all my passwords, tightened my social media security, and even moved to a new apartment in Queens for a fresh start. The panic attacks at night have lessened, but I'm not fully recovered. Alex tried contacting me once through a new number, apologizing but then blaming me for pushing him to this. I saved the message as evidence and blocked the number. The police say the investigation is ongoing, but it'll take time. Thank you for the support. I'll update again if there's news. Update 2, 1 month after the original post. Things have escalated, but I'm holding on. I'll start with the good. The police investigation is moving forward. Last week, they questioned Alex. He's now living in New Jersey, so they had to coordinate with local police. According to my lawyer who spoke with the detective, Alex admitted to sending the video but claimed it was accidental and that he thought it was a funny memory. Obviously, that's a lie. The detective didn't buy it, especially since the video was sent right after our fallout. We've pressed charges under New York's Intimate Image Protection Law, which classifies this as a misdemeanor. If convicted, he faces up to a year in jail and fines. My lawyer is also working on a restraining order to prevent further contact or sharing. On the civil side, we filed a lawsuit against Alex for defamation, intentional infliction of emotional distress, and invasion of privacy. We're seeking damages, including therapy costs, lost work time, I took a week off because I couldn't focus, and punitive damages to teach him a lesson. Discovery has started, and we'll get access to his phone records and social media logs. My lawyer suspects we might uncover more. One of our old friends mentioned Alex did something similar to an ex-girlfriend, but she never reported it. Socially, the fallout continues. Our friend group has essentially dissolved. A planned picnic in Central Park was canceled because no one wanted to deal with the drama. I've found new friends through a hiking group on Meetup. It's refreshing to be around positive people who don't know my past. Work is improving. I explained the situation to my boss without details, and he was understanding, giving me a flexible schedule with remote work options. But there's bad news. The video surfaced online. Someone, likely Alex or one of his supporters, uploaded it to a shady forum. I found out when a coworker hinted they saw something weird with my name. I immediately contacted the site's admin and had my lawyer file a DMCA takedown notice. The video was removed, but who knows how many people saved it. I hired a reputation management service to monitor and remove any mentions. It's expensive but necessary for peace of mind. Therapy is helping a lot. We've explored why I stayed in this toxic friendship so long. It turns out I have codependency issues tied to my family history. Alex exploited that. I'm working on setting boundaries and building self-esteem. Sarah and I are spending more time together. It's not romantic yet, but her support is invaluable. Alex's mom called me, apologizing on his behalf. She said he's always been impulsive and that they're trying to get him therapy. I appreciated her call, but it doesn't undo the damage. I'm still fighting. If anyone has advice on dealing with online leaks or civil lawsuits, please share. Stay safe, friends. Update 3, 3 months after the original post. The past few weeks have brought a lot of changes, and I want to share the details. The criminal case is progressing. Last month, Alex was arrested for unlawful dissemination of an intimate image. He was released on bail. His parents likely helped, but with conditions: no contact with me, no social media posts about the case, and mandatory therapy. A hearing took place in Manhattan court. I wasn't there, but my lawyer kept me updated. Alex pleaded not guilty, claiming the video wasn't intimate enough. The judge didn't seem impressed and set a trial date for 6 months from now. Prosecutors are confident due to the digital evidence showing he acted intentionally. In the civil lawsuit, we had our first hearing. Alex showed up with a lawyer who looked like a public defender. Under oath, he admitted to keeping the video for memories and sending it out of hurt feelings. My lawyer pressed him, using old messages that showed his manipulative behavior. He broke down a bit, admitting he was jealous because my life was improving while his stagnated. He's been job hopping and has debts. The judge issued a preliminary order requiring Alex to delete all copies of the video and banning further sharing. We're estimating damages at around $50,000, factoring in rising therapy costs. Emotionally, I hit a low point last month. I had a panic attack in a coffee shop when I thought someone from our old circle was staring at me. Therapy increased to twice a week. We're using EMDR to process the trauma. It's tough because it forces me to relive the betrayal, but it's helping desensitize me to the memories. I started journaling, which has been therapeutic. Entries look something like, Day 45, remembered good times with Alex, that Hamptons trip. But then recalled how he ruined it with arguments. Glad it's over. Socially, most friends are on my side. Mike organized a small meetup in Prospect Park where we discussed red flags in Alex's behavior that we all ignored. It was validating. Tom, who defended Alex, apologized after the arrest news. He said he was in denial because Alex helped him through a tough time once. I forgave him, but we're not close anymore. At work, I got a promotion. This situation, oddly, sharpened my skills. I channeled my anger into creative projects. My updated portfolio landed me a senior designer role at a midtown agency. The pay bump helps cover legal fees. Online issue, the reputation management service caught 2 more instances of the video popping up on obscure sites. They were removed quickly. I've been learning about digital security, using a VPN, 2-factor authentication everywhere, and deleting old social media accounts. Tip, use Have I Been Pwned to check if your data has been leaked. Alex tried contacting me through a mutual friend, offering a truce. I reported it as a violation of the court order. His mom called again, begging me to drop the lawsuit because he's suffering. I politely declined. Accountability matters. Her enabling explains a lot. Sarah and I are officially dating. She's been patient through all this, and we've grown closer through shared experiences. Our first real date was a picnic in Washington Square Park, simple but perfect. I'm not fully healed, but I'm rebuilding. This experience taught me to spot toxicity, value true friends, and protect my digital privacy. I'll update before the trial. Update 4, 6 months after the original post. It's been half a year and I'm nearing the end of this saga. The trial started last week in New York Supreme Court. It was surreal sitting in the courtroom, seeing Alex in a suit. He seemed smaller than I remembered. The prosecution presented evidence, screenshots, witness statements from friends, and an expert analysis of the video's impact on my mental health. My therapist provided written testimony about PTSD-like symptoms, insomnia, heightened anxiety, trust issues. Alex's defense argued it was a youthful mistake from college, not revenge, but the messages after our fallout debunked that one read, "You'll pay for ditching me." The jury seemed sympathetic to me. A few nodded during my testimony. I stuck to the facts, described the friendship's decline, toxic incidents like the party flirting, and the devastating aftermath. Cross-examination was tough. Alex's lawyer implied I consented by not demanding the video's deletion back then. I countered that trust doesn't equal consent for betrayal years later. The verdict came quickly, guilty of the misdemeanor. Sentencing is next month. The prosecutor is pushing for the maximum fine and community service, possibly probation. Jail is unlikely, but it's a win for justice. The civil lawsuit settled out of court. Alex agreed to pay $35,000 in damages. I suspect his parents covered most of it. The settlement includes a non-disclosure clause and a no-contact order. He wrote a formal apology. I regret my actions and the harm caused. It feels hollow, but it's on record. Healing progress, therapy is down to once a week. I joined a betrayal support group in NYC. Others' stories help normalize my experience. Physically, I started running along the Hudson River. It's calming. I lost 7 kg from stress, but am now building muscle. Social life is thriving. New friends from work and the hiking group. I hosted a board game night at my Queens apartment. No drama, just fun. The remnants of our old group stay in touch via new chat without Alex. Career S on the up. I landed a freelance project with a big brand thanks to my updated portfolio. This ordeal fueled my creativity. I turned pain into art, working on anti-bullying campaigns. Sarah and I are solid. We took a weekend trip to the Catskills, my first time leaving the city since this started. We talked about the future. She's my rock. Reflections, this could have broken me, but it made me stronger. I learned to vet friends carefully, protect my digital privacy, delete old files, and stand up for myself. If you're in a similar hell, report it. Resources like CCRI are lifesavers. Thanks for the support. I'll update if sentencing brings anything new. Otherwise, this might be my last update. Update 5, 9 months after the original post. Sentencing happened yesterday. Alex got 6 months probation, 100 hours of community service in a digital literacy program, ironically, a $5,000 fine and mandatory therapy. The judge gave him a lecture on consent and consequences in the digital age. He looked defeated, no smug smiles. My lawyer says this is a solid outcome for a first offense. With the settlement money, I paid off debts, donated to CCRI, and invested in a home office setup. I feel financially stable for the first time. Emotionally, nightmares stopped a few months ago. Trust is returning slowly. I vetted a new friend thoroughly before inviting them over. Sarah suggested a Europe trip next summer. I'm excited. At work, another promotion. I'm leading a team. This ordeal built my resilience, my boss noticed. About Alex, I heard he moved to Chicago, starting over. I hope he changes, but it's not my concern anymore. I'm grateful for the growth. Life's better without toxicity. Thank you all. If you enjoyed this video, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel so you won't miss new stories.